And congratulations to you, Mr. President, on your anniversary. I'm sure this was the most romantic place you could imagine, here with me. So I like PBS. I love Big Bird. I actually like you too. But I'm not gonna keep on spending money on things to borrow money from China to pay for.
At some point, I think the American people have to ask themselves: is the reason that Governor Romney is keeping all these plans to replace secret because they're too good?
Look, I got 5 boys. I'm used to people saying something that's not always true, but just keep on repeating it and ultimately hoping I'll believe it. But that is not the case. I had a friend who said you don't just pick the winners and losers, you pick the losers. Mr. President, you're entitled as a president to your own airplane and to your own house, but not to your own facts.
Now, the last point I'd make before
2 minutes is up, sir.
No, I think I had 5 seconds before you interrupted me.
Oh man, look who's here, the author of the New York Times top 10 best-selling brand new book. It's called Mugged. Ann Coulter, good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's interesting that the president should point out, I had 5 more seconds on the clock.
And then talk for 10 minutes.
In fact, at the 65-minute point, the president had spoken 5 minutes longer than Mitt Romney.
Right. Well, I think he's trying to transmit to the American people he doesn't want this job.
Right.
Please,
he did a good job last night.
Me of my duties.
No,
I just want to golf and hang out with Scarlett.
But do you really think that's it? He wants the job. Okay, so what's your real analysis of what the performance meant
I really
night?
think he was a disaster. I mean, part of it is he's never been challenged in his entire life. Every place he goes, he gets a standing ovation. He becomes president and wins the Nobel Peace Prize. He's never been challenged before, and it was up against McCain last time. And Romney was spectacular. I mean, I've been a supporter of Romney's for a long time, and I noticed during the primaries, and many of my friends were not, and every time they'd see him give a speech, different people, they'd say, wow, that was the best speech I've ever seen. If he had just been talking like that from the beginning, and I'd say he has been. You're not watching, which is why I was totally confident that he would be magnificent. And Mitt Romney was really good last night, and he will be good in all of the debates, even the town hall debate, which I think are so stupid.
Proportionally, how much do you think this has to do with Mitt Romney just bringing a good game to the table, and how much is it because the president was at the Hoover Dam and visiting his headquarters and not really into preparing?
Yes, well, I mean...
What was it? How much did Romney win and how much did the president lose?
It was some of both, but it's... The fact that Obama didn't prepare, I mean, this is like him not being prepared for the attack on our consulate. He never prepares. He just expects to walk out, be cool, and get a standing ovation.
Or is it more that you can't prepare for things that you can't defend?
No, he was very, very bad last night. He looked depressed. He looked anemic, those big ears poking out. The first time I watched the debate, I was mostly listening to it, and Romney was killing. And then I watched it again, and toward the end was actually watching it. And the visual made it so much worse. Obama was depressed and looking down. You could see at the end of that debate, he knew that, anniversary or not, Michelle wanted to go home with Mitt.
And let me just tell you, when I was telling Steve before the show, is that when Mitt Romney hugged his kids, he looked like a guy that won the Super Bowl. Like, I just exhaled, oh my goodness, I did it.
He did.
Then you get the
No,
sense
and
of that?
also you got this sense throughout of what a decent man he is. They can keep portraying him as an elitist and a snob. You can see this is a decent man who cares about America.
And he knows what he's doing behind the debate lectern. In fact, last night when Mr. Obama stepped into his stump speech attacking Mitt Romney on how he's going to raise taxes on the middle class, so millionaires and billionaires can get a $5 trillion tax cut, Mr. Romney said, hold the phone, Mr. President. Watch this.
Governor Romney's proposal that he's been promoting for 18 months calls for a $5 trillion tax cut on top of $2 trillion of additional spending for our military. And he is saying that he is going to pay for it by closing loopholes and deductions.
Virtually everything he just said about my tax plan is inaccurate.
See, that's what a lot of people on the right have wanted for a while. It's like when the president says something that is a lie, call him on it, and Mitt Romney did last night.
No, that's right, but he was just, the beginning especially, Obama kept going through the same tired talking points over and over again, even after Romney had said, that isn't my tax plan. Let me tell you again what I'm going to do. And by the way, explaining it beautifully, believably, accurately, but also not in too complicated a manner. I mean, another great moment for Romney was when he described how private enterprise actually does stuff better than the government when it comes to health care. That was a beautiful explanation for something that weirdly seems counterintuitive sometimes.
Okay, so yes or no, does it change the polls?
Yeah, well, part of this will be for the media to explain why they've been lying about the polls. I think that's why even they are admitting Romney killed last night. But this was so spectacular. I think this is landslide material. I think this could carry Todd Aiken to victory.
I think you could now we got to give you a breathalyzer. Mugged is the name of your book. Go out and get it because Ann wants you to.
Very nice.
And it's a very good book.
It's an excellent book.
All right, Ann, thank you very much.